Tokyo. It was a spring Friday night when one of Japan's best-known television journalists invited Shiori Ito out for a drink. Her internship at a news service in Tokyo was ending, and she had inquired about another internship with his network. They met at a bar in central Tokyo for grilled chicken and beer, then went to dinner. The last thing she remembers, she later told the police, was feeling dizzy and excusing herself to go to the restroom, where she passed out. By the end of the night, she alleged, he had taken her back to his hotel room and raped her while she was unconscious. The journalist, Noriyuki Yamaguchi, the Washington bureau chief of the Tokyo Broadcasting System at the time and a biographer of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, denied the charge and, after a 2-month investigation, prosecutors dropped the case. Then Ms. Ito decided to do something women in Japan almost never do, she spoke out. In a news conference in May and a book published in October, she said the police had obtained hotel security camera footage that appeared to show Mr. Yamaguchi propping her up, unconscious, as they walked through the hotel lobby. The police also located and interviewed their taxi driver, who confirmed that she had passed out. Investigators told her they were going to arrest Mr. Yamaguchi, she said, but then suddenly backed off. Elsewhere, her allegations might have caused an uproar. But here in Japan, they attracted only a smattering of attention. As the United States reckons with an outpouring of sexual misconduct cases that have shaken Capitol Hill, Hollywood, Silicon Valley, and the news media, Ms. Ito's story is a stark example of how sexual assault remains a subject to be avoided in Japan, where few women report rape to the police, and when they do, their complaints rarely result in arrests or prosecution. On paper, Japan boasts relatively low rates of sexual assault. In a survey conducted by the Cabinet Office of the Central Government in 2014, 1 in 15 women reported experiencing rape at some time in their lives, compared with 1 in 5 women who report having been raped in the United States. But scholars say Japanese women are far less likely to describe non-consensual sex as rape than women in the West. Japan's rape laws make no mention of consent. Date rape is essentially a foreign concept and education about sexual violence is minimal. Instead, rape is often depicted in manga comics and pornography as an extension of sexual gratification, in a culture in which such material is often an important channel of sex education. The police and courts tend to define rape narrowly, generally pursuing cases only when there are signs of both physical force and self-defense and discouraging complaints when either the assailant or victim has been drinking. Last month, prosecutors in Yokohama dropped a case against 6 university students accused of sexually assaulting another student after forcing her to drink alcohol. And even when rapists are prosecuted and convicted in Japan, they sometimes serve no prison time. About 1 in 10 receive only suspended sentences, according to Justice Ministry statistics. This year, for example, 2 students at Chiba University near Tokyo convicted in the gang rape of an intoxicated woman were released with suspended sentences, though other defendants were sentenced to prison.